And today on our Dear Claire series, we're talking about how has COVID changed real estate. So I figured I'd just show you because it's way more entertaining. Obviously, when I meet you or when we have buyers going through a listing, they have to wear a mask. Agents typically wear gloves. I have this on me pretty much constantly, and I run around the house and wipe down things as you touch them or before you touch them. Typically, what we're going to see on our listing side is a sign like this. Can you read that? Yeah. So it just says, hey, this house has been cleaned. And if you're sick, don't enter, or if you know of anyone that's been sick, don't enter. We typically also have hand sanitizer on premises, so you can sanitize your hands as you walk in and walk out. So it's pretty exciting. I mean, besides that, it's all really pretty typical. There's just a lot more stuff involved. So let me take this off because it's easier to understand me, and since I'm here alone. So a couple of other things. When you're a buyer, it's really typical that sellers are requiring that you give them a pre-approval before we see the house. And the reason they're doing that is for obviously the seller's safety, and frankly just to avoid having anyone that isn't interested in buying the house in the property. Additionally, one of the things we're doing, especially on the listing side, is making sure that the buyer is interested, and we do that by giving them a three-dimensional tour before they even come to the house. So it's this really crazy link that you can navigate through the house. It's almost like a video game. You can like turn around and walk through the house on your computer, so you have a really clear idea of what the actual house looks like when you're inside of it, which is pretty cool. And then a few things just once we actually get you the house that you're interested in buying on the seller side, or on the buyer side, or on the seller side, once we find the person that's going to buy your house, we same thing with all the precautions on the inspectors. So typically the inspectors aren't allowing the buyers to be there, and of course the sellers are not there when the inspector is inspecting the house. Typically the buyers are invited for the last hour of the inspection, but they have to be masked. And typically they're doing the summary outside. And then, of course, as we truck along through the transaction, at the end, normally there's a bunch of paperwork for both the buyer and the seller to sign. And that used to be signed at the title company. Nowadays, we're typically having a mobile notary come to you, which I frankly think is kind of sweet. So you can sign all the paperwork in the comfort of your own home. And then, of course, on the selling side too, the other big thing that's a big change is there are no open houses. Well, there are a few, but we haven't been hosting any because, frankly, it's not that safe for the buyers or for the sellers or for, frankly, me. So we're still under a lockdown to the effect that we can't have more than 10 people in a space at one time, and so it makes hosting an open house a lot more difficult. Again, on the selling side, for scheduled showings too, we have a really cool app that we use so that we try to make sure that no one's in the house at the same time. And typically people, again, are bleach wiping themselves out of the property. So if there are multiple buyers seeing your house over a period of time, there will be somebody bleach wiping in between to make sure everyone's not on top of each other. There are so many ways that it's changed, but at the end of the day, it's actually all very much the same. There's just more gear. So please reach out with any other questions you might have about this topic, because I find it fascinating and it's still changing every day because we're kind of reinventing the wheel here. Comment below if you have any additional questions you'd like me to talk about. Doesn't have to be COVID related, I mean. And of course, check us out on our YouTube channel, Paris Group Realty LLC. We've got all kinds of good stuff over there. I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk soon. Take care.